Hey guys, welcome back to our Japanese Hearts of Iron playthrough. Today we are going to have the taste of victory. That's right, we are going to conquer in the very first episode of Japan. I actually took down the older video down so we could restart this series because I've been digging off screen to see what I can do to make this better, and I about nailed it. So I'm very excited to continue with this series and what is to come for the Emperor of Japan. Let's go get some victory. Empire of Japan. My terrible dramatic voice, but that's alright. We're gonna play on regular Iron Man mode as well. So this is gonna be higher stakes than my campaigns off screen. But I think I know what I'm doing this time, guys. So it should be fine. Give us a little bit more of a challenge here. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a couple divisions. I'm probably gonna disband this one. We're not gonna be making trucks for a while. Maybe we'll bring trucks into it a little bit later, but not right now. I'm probably gonna disband a lot of this, to be perfectly honest, but I do want to keep some of it so we don't have to recruit as much. Okay, let's add 3 more divisions. Probably gonna get 24 divisions here and then convert some of them. And then we'll work on getting out of the deficits and whatnot. But for now, I do want to disband whatever we're not exactly using. I do want to place this one under this guy's command. Oh my gosh, I screwed up a little bit there. I am gonna disband this truck because we're not gonna be using trucks, at least for now, like I said before. I'm basically gonna take all of the regular infantry and keep it, and then whatever isn't regular infantry goes bye-bye, because we don't want to convert too much, but we don't want to disband the entire Japanese army. It makes no sense. I used to do that, but now that I know what I know, I'm gonna disband whatever we're not gonna use. Okay, so I'm gonna disband the rest of this and let all of our equipment come back. Okay, so we're gonna keep here and disband the rest of that. Dang, trying to push the disband button here. There's a lot that needs to be disbanded, but again, I do want to keep what we will be using so we don't have to recruit as much. Go ahead and disband that one because it's not regular infantry here. Well, I just deleted more than I wanted to, but that's alright, I guess. I guess we could probably convert the rest of these because the Japanese army is much smaller than it was before. I do want to actually probably convert this one too, so we can just add this to our regular army here. Oh, out for you guys. That's why I stopped talking, so that I could find that easier, actually. So I'll be able to pull that out pretty easy. Alright guys, let's get to it. So as I was saying before, we are going to be organizing the army and invading Shanxi on this episode, so it should be fun. Just give me a minute to get all of this organized. I'll probably just edit a bunch of this stuff out for you guys so that I don't have to necessarily have you guys watch all this. Alright, we got 20 divisions. under one commander right now, which is pretty decent. I'm gonna put this guy in command of them. So that's a good start. Guerrilla fighter and entrenchment speed. I should have went with the other guy, but that's alright. He's still a infantry commander, so that's good. I'm gonna go with the engineering research thing to speed up our research first, and then we'll start going into industry. I'll get the construction first as well, and national focuses. I want to focus on our economics right now, and all that's left to do is the research facility. Let's put him in there. And then our factories and ports. I'm gonna go ahead to expand all these production lines that we're not using. I would have some factories on trains, but at the beginning here, I don't really want to do that because I want to catch up on the stuff that we actually do need. And while I'm deleting all these ports, because I'm going to delete most of them, I'm going to edit that out for you guys so you don't have to watch all this. Click and set up the factories, and then I'll be right with you guys. But you guys are going to watch me set up the factories at the very least. Okay, so I moved the airplanes and stuff up on the production one. Actually, he's still working on getting the other one from the bottom, and then I'll work on getting the other factories where we need to be. I'm not going to be producing carrier weapons, to be honest. At least not right now, because we don't exactly need them. We need land-based aircraft. So now is the time. We're going to say 9 factories on arms. Okay? Then we're going to have 1 factory there on support equipment. Then we're also going to have 1 factory on fighter planes. I also want to take 1 factory off of infantry equipment and make sure we're making artillery at a decent clip. So 9 factories, and then we have our close air support, which we're going to manufacture. We got 1 factory on that right now. That's going to eventually change, but now I gotta get rid of these ports, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, welcome back. I'm gonna make these guys make cruise submarines, and then we're also gonna open up a production line of convoys. Now, we don't need to make a whole crap with these, okay? At least not yet. So, I'm gonna leave that as is, and we're gonna get things going here. Alright, now I'm also gonna trade 1 factory for the. Actually, we have to trade 2, unfortunately, if we want to be efficient here. So I'm gonna have to trade 2 because we're short on aluminum and rubber. So I'll get the aluminum from the United States. We'll get the rubber from British Malaysia, which I do plan on invading as well eventually. Okay, so that should be our deficits taken care of in terms of resources to build. That's probably not our deficit in terms of rifles taken care of. Actually, it is. So, at this point in time, it's just a matter of getting some bottlenecks going. Bye-bye. So I'm gonna go to this supply map mode so I can see these a little easier. My playthroughs on off screen, if you will, where I was only lacking 1 resource. So all I had to do was trade 1 factory But that could be because we're actually on normal mode. I wouldn't be surprised. But let's get these things fixed up. Awesome. We out here. I hate bottlenecks, guys. I really do. Just makes things a lot harder, to be perfectly honest. But hey, whatever, I guess. Trying to fix as many bottlenecks as I can, or at least get a lot of these going, so that they can be rectified over time. Because the more we fix now, the better. Once we do take Shanxi, I'm gonna have to prioritize their depots so that we don't have any supply issues later. But until then, I should say, I'm going to kind of have them work on that. These depots actually in the home island here, so we can push more supplies over when we need to. Alright, sounds fantastic. This is gonna take a while to actually do, but it's definitely gonna be worth it. There's no question about it. So after Shanxi, I'm gonna really focus on getting those civilian factories going. Let's get these guys going here. 13 divisions. It's gonna take some time, but that's alright. And we're a little bit short on equipment for them, but I think our guys should catch up quite quick. But honestly, 13 divisions come in would actually be more beneficial than just 10, to be honest. So I think that might actually pay off to be quite useful, actually, to be perfectly honest. I think this is going to be one of our best campaigns ever because Japanese campaign is naturally harder than the German campaign. And so I think, really, guys, once we get rolling, this is going to be super rewarding to build an empire out of this thing. I really think it's going to be super rewarding to build an empire out of something like this, because this is one of the harder factions to play in HOI4, other than the minor nations. This is probably the hardest main nation to play as. I could be wrong, but let me know what you guys think in the comments there about that. But I do think that Japan is the hardest major power to play as, believe it or not. That's what I think, but I'm not exactly sure. So let me know what you guys think in that regard. Yeah, we're starting to crank these out. We're starting to crank the rifles now. It's not a whole crap load, but I mean it's a decent clip, honestly. Let's see. National focus. That's what I was get these construction factories so we can build even faster despite us trading 2 factories away. Eventually we won't need to do this, but for now we do. Honestly, I think we did kind of overdo it in terms of the provisions a little bit. So maybe want to decrease to maybe 10, 12, something like that. That'll help with our deficits and whatnot. We do have some new divisions, which I'm gonna hook up to that guy here. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna start to go down the tree that has the war goal against Shanxi. Once we get this national focus done here. We got 22 out of 24. What are we lacking? We are lacking 2,000 infantry equipment. Okay, hold up. We want to purge the Kodoha. Okay, That's that national focus done. I'm gonna cut this down a little bit here, just a bit, so our factories can actually keep up with what's going on here. As you can see, we're starting to work on the bottlenecks for the supplies, which will eventually help in spades. I don't know how that event works, so I'm gonna just say don't do that. If any of you guys know what that event is and how to do it, that would actually be great. Can't be much more on that. No, there isn't. Okay. So the next national focus that we do, I'm gonna do that has to do with war goals, etc. Because it's gonna take us a while to get all of it done here. But I also want to buy myself as much time as possible before the invasion of China because although the game essentially forces you in that scenario eventually, and I do intend to do it before they force us to do it. I just want to get as many divisions in the field as possible and get a lot of as many of these cutoffs done as soon as possible as well. How much more on those army guys coming? Not too much. We do have a bit, so that'll give them time to fix whatever is lacking in the stockpile. I don't think they're gonna fix it entirely, but should be a decent low number by the time the next ones kick off. And eventually we'll be making hundreds of infantry equipment and it won't matter as much. But we will see how this scenario plays out. That's what we're looking for. Now, I'm going to take this political power and make it so that we get some air experience, but I'm also going to start to do this national focus. This is going to essentially make Manching our puppet state, or close to that moment. And once we do that, we can get the war goal against Shanxi. And once that happens, we'll be in a good spot to invade China. And I'm going to extend it a little bit more. We're going to make the army wait a little bit before you do something like that. But for now, I do at least want to get the air command guy in office so that we can start to get passive air XP so that I can build a better air machine. Where are we at for technologies right now? Let's take a look. I gotta start the game again, but I just want to check. Okay, so the closest technology here is done in about 28 days. I'm gonna research the range upgrade is what I'm gonna do. Technology upgrade again. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do, and then machine tool is done, we'll do the range upgrade. That way it gives us plenty of XP to make the more up-to-date fighter. I'm excited for what we do here for Japan. I really am really excited. We're about to achieve history on the channel. I've never been able to actually do this in the channel. I played good games with Germany, but I mean, I'd like to do a successful playthrough with Japan, so I'm really excited to be fair. I also want to get the mountain troops. I forgot completely about that, actually, to tell you the truth. But I want to get them as well. We are in a positive number for infantry equipment at this point. So that is a very good scenario, thankfully. but we're still only making 43 per day, which really isn't too bad, but it definitely needs to be a lot better. No question in regards to that. It definitely needs to be a lot better. Now, after Jing becomes part of our puppet state thing, I'm gonna wait a couple of days for them to become that puppet state so I can go right into the war against Shanxi. And we need to make support equipment faster. Holy crap. That's the biggest thing that's lagging right now. It's crazy. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna get the bigger computer research speed at this point in time, just so that we have it and everything else doesn't take forever. And right now we're still getting a -4 research speed, but that's gonna pick up eventually. How much longer on this? Okay, not too much longer until that happens. Alright, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, if I recall correctly, yeah, this is the one I was gonna wait a while. But for the time being, while we're waiting, I'm gonna have the army actually do some movements onto the border of Shanxi so that it's completed. I can't exactly do that yet, so we're gonna wait a bit, and they should flip pretty soon. Yep, they're gonna flip. That's good. I just want to wait until they flip so I can go right into. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted there. Now we're gonna go right into the conflict with Shanxi and Annexation. There we go. Now, I'm going to take these 22 divisions, and they are going to sit on the border of Shanxi for me, and they're going to do an attack line that goes down to Shanxi's capital. Alright? And I'm going to put him on aggressive mode so that he goes until they capitulate. Because that's one of the places that we can actually afford to do that. Now, I will tell you guys so that when you're watching the screen, you're not totally flipping out because you think Japan's not going to get this. Okay? When we do this invasion, it's going to turn Jing colors. It's going to turn that greenish color that is my puppet state. But when the peace conference is done, I'm essentially going to say to them, you didn't do crap, I did everything, and I'm going to contest everything. By the time we're done here, Shanxi will be under Japanese control 100%. So do not worry about that. I got that under control. Okay, we got some more men just before the conflict. Okay, this is awesome. We're a little bit over, so I'm going to take one of these guys and add it to another army, which means we're going to get a field marshal right now to get one so we have one. I'm going to put this guy here, and we have another military factory, so let me see. I think we need to crank out support equipment. That is lagging behind so bad. Now, I'm going to, when it comes to the Chinese campaign, I'm not going to use the Marshal as a massive assault line. Okay, for a little bit, I'm going to use these two armies separated so that we can conquer Shanxi, Communist China, and then flip that army to go in here. Okay? That's what my plan is in regards to that. But I'm going to stick both armies under control of the field marshal, but I'm not going to have the field marshal command these guys yet. They're gonna operate separately for the time being. It's actually the most men I've actually had on the border of Shanxi, which is kind of awesome to think about. And we do have a little bit of supply issues, but it's not bad. But by the time we get done with this, the supplies is going to be bad, so I'm going to have to fix that. And this is going to be fun, guys, because the Chinese aren't going to know what hit them. They're really not going to know what hit them, and it's going to be fun to watch. And it sliced right through this Shanxi border like it's nothing. This should be almost over by now. Yes, very, very close until the war here. And I'm very, very excited. We actually might end the episode here just because I don't want it to be too long, but we're going to be working on some other stuff in the next episode here. Okay, I'm going to get some more and added to this army. It's only 2 divisions strong at this point. What are we looking at in regards to, hold on, in regards to deficits? 1,000, okay. I'm trying to get out of this, but it's gonna be hard until we get our industry where it needs to be. Okay, so now this war has started. Shanxi actually does not have an air force. So this is gonna be very, very easy to tell you guys the truth. But without further ado, let's slow the game down a little bit and fire this off. As you can see, we're doing very, very well because we got a full army coming down, which this is the first time we've actually had to happen. In the meantime, though, let me pause the game so that we don't go nowhere while I'm trying to choose the national focus here. In the meantime, now I'm going to focus on our economic ability for the time being. Just kind of buy us some more time to prepare for the Chinese invasion. Totally. And then we'll probably do the invasion of China before the actual day that they force us to do it. Right now I want to focus on economic aspects so that it is something that is feasible at the moment. As you can see, we're kicking their butt. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this is crazy. Very, very, very effective combat right now. Just chewing right through them. That's crazy. And there we go again. They're retreating again. That's crazy though. Just to think about that. Wow. We might be doing this faster than my playthrough off screen. This is kind of sad. It's kind of funny actually, not to be serious. We've only had a couple battles, which is to be expected because Shanxi doesn't have a large military, to tell you the truth. They're kind of easy to steamroll, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this is pretty sad, I'm not gonna lie. But it looks like to me that the focus on building the, what do you call them, the cutoffs, bottlenecks for supplies, has actually paid off a little bit because we actually went further into their territory than I did my last time off screen when I realized the trick of this. So prioritizing the bottlenecks is actually paying off quite well, but it's still going to be pretty bad supplies down here by the time we get these guys to capitulate. So, but we are definitely doing better than we did before because the supplies went further before it started bad. And actually, I had pretty much basic machine tools before I invaded Shanxi the last time. So we're actually moving very, very quickly. We're way ahead of schedule right now, which is awesome. We're very ahead of schedule right now. This is absolutely fantastic. You can see the supplies are now getting pretty atrocious, but it's not going to matter because these guys are so weak. It's like whatever. However, once Shanxi capitulates, I'm going to have to pull these guys out of here because their attrition is going to be so bad. And then I'm gonna prioritize connecting Shanxi with the capital so we can fix the supply issues down in here before we go to war with China, so that the fight's not nearly as bad. As you can see, even with low supplies, we're just absolutely crushing Shanxi. But to be expected, I wouldn't expect any less. Definitely to be expected. I'm gonna go with, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this some project here. And like I said, by the time this war's over, Jing is not gonna get nothing. It's all gonna be Japanese. It just doesn't look like it as of right now. But believe me, it will. It will be all Japanese.
Okay.
It will be all Japanese by the end. We're just kind of walking over them right now, especially on the one side. And then they'll just kind of flank them, and that battle that we're actually losing right now will turn green. Alright, they're basically going to capitulate anytime now. Probably gonna have to capture pretty much the whole state to get them to do it, but it's not gonna be too much longer before they do. So it's gonna happen very, very quick. This guy right here is about to sweep down and get the bottom half too, so I don't expect troops to be down there. If there is, it's gonna be very little. As you can see, that's all green now. Yeah, it's really just a walk in the park. Literally a walk in the park now. Except for this battle here, which they're about to lose. It's literally a walk in the park though. It's kind of funny. But hey, I'll take it all day. I'm not gonna complain in the slightest. I will take this all day. Definitely. The Chinese-Spanish Civil War has just started, guys, and we're already expanding. That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We're way ahead of schedule. It's not gonna be like that forever, but I just love how quickly we're actually doing this. Seriously though, guys, like, why don't you capitulate by now? I know I'm gonna have to take this whole thing, but I'm just looking at what's going on. I'm like, why? Just to end the suffering now. This is, wow. Literally, the whole bottom was just a walkover. Okay, now it's just a walk in the park. Literally. That's ridiculous. Let's speed this up, huh? Okay, that's the end, pretty much. We destroyed their entire military. She belongs to the Japanese. Huh. Jing, you ain't getting crap, buddy. Sorry, but this is all Japanese territory. Shanxi, Japanese, guys. Shanxi is Japanese. And God bless you guys. Thank you for following the channel.